with a smile on your face. When you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Viewers, and welcome to Tobago Updates Morning Show. I am your host, Renessa Ortiz. It is Tuesday, the 24th of March 2026, and we're seeing the days are quickly going by to bring us to the end of March. I am joined in studio this morning by Alex Brown. He's joining me on the hosting chair this morning. Good morning and welcome to you.
Good morning to you, Renessa, and thank you.
It's a pleasure to have you on the Tobago Updates space as we dive into the conversations this morning.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Awesome. So to our viewers joining us on YouTube, Facebook, AMPLIA, Flow, Digicel, we want to say thank you for continuing to join us here on Tobago Updates and making us your #1 station here on the island of Tobago. We want to welcome those who are joining us regionally and internationally. We want you to stay tuned with us this morning. But before we go any further, Alex, is there anything you want to say to the viewers?
Beyond the fact that it's really a pleasure to be here and to be here talking with you, Renessa, it's just a pleasure.
Awesome. So we're going to head right over to news in 90 seconds. Your news in 90 seconds starts now for Tuesday, March 24th, 2026. A major de-escalation in global hostilities as news breaks of direct talks between U.S. President Donald Trump and the new Iranian leadership over the weekend. The move toward a ceasefire comes at a poignant time for the local community, even as Tobago celebrated Eid. While the Muslim community represents a small percentage of our island, the hope for regional stability in the Middle East has been expressed by local Muslim leaders. Tobago's finest are heading out to fly the flag. 16 elite athletes have been officially selected to represent the island at the Carifa Games next week in Grenada. These competitors spanning several disciplines have shown remarkable resilience despite challenges to access training facilities at competition standards. Coaches say the team is in peak physical condition and ready to showcase the Tobago brand of excellence against the best in the Caribbean. Finally, the countdown is in its final 48 hours. The Division of Education, Skills and Innovation confirmed at yesterday's media briefing that all arrangements are finalized for the secondary entrance assessment this Thursday, March 26th. Coordinated support teams are in place across all Tobago primary schools to ensure a seamless environment for all students. We remind parents to keep their scholars calm and focused as they prepare for this academic milestone. That was your news in 90 seconds. Tune in again at 6:30 p.m. for a full newscast. Alex, we're seeing that our SCA students are getting ready for the sitting of this examination. I know it's a very nervous time for students as well as the parents.
I think more so for many of the parents, not the students. I mean, I have had the opportunity just in the last week to interact with some of these students, and they seem pretty calm, pretty prepared. I think oftentimes the anxiety or the high levels of anxiety, lie with the parents and their expectations and dreams for their children. But we're encouraging them to keep it down and help the child relax and be in the best frame of mind.
And I have to agree with you on that one in terms of our parents ensuring that you let your children know no matter the outcome, you are still proud of them, because at the end of the day, they really tune into what you say and they listen and they keep that in the back of their mind. So it is up to you now to ensure and reinforcing them that you are proud of them in spite of, but still encourage them to do their best. Come March 26, 2026. And we're hoping all students really do their best. They take their time, they read the questions, they go over it carefully, and that they ensure that they take some of that pressure off. I know it can be very nerve-wracking. I've been in that position. I know what it's like when you come out of the exam and then you remember something that you were supposed to do, but continue to encourage your charges.
I remember hearing a teacher say recently, there's a tip that he offered. If you need to use the bathroom, you get the time back. So if you're beginning to feel a little bit flustered, take a bathroom break, relax yourself, and then go back.
So parents, you got that tip. Ensure to relate to your charges. We're moving a bit on into the program this morning. We're heading on to that celebratory moment in Tobago Updates morning show. It's on to our birthday shout outs. This morning we have two lovely ladies, but I'll start with Annetta Kennedy Williams. Happy birthday to you from the Tobago Updates family. We hope you have a bright and splendid day today. I'm seeing a pool in the background. I'm hoping that you get some time to spend one at a pool today, and you spend it with those who love, cherish, and appreciate you.
Next up is Donna Trim Stewart. Happy birthday to you, Donna. We hope that you enjoy today and that it marks a year that begins, or a day that marks a year that begins really new things for you and in you, through you. Have a wonderful day. I must confess, Donna and I have some history together. We go way, way back. I mean, since my childhood. So this is a special one for me. Happy birthday, Donna.
And I hope you carry some cake for Donna this morning.
That's going to be a little bit tough, but we'll see how it goes.
And that's it for our birthday lineup this morning. For those of you who did not make it on our birthday shoutouts this morning, I want to say happy birthday to you. And ensure that next time you send your information to us here at Tobago Update so we can celebrate with you. Now, Alex, we're going straight into the rundown. Tell us, who do we have this morning on the program?
This morning we have Tutor Tobago officer, Mr. Dion Rodriguez, and he is going to be giving us the Tobago teachers updates on Tobago Updates. We also have Casey Henry and Dominique Lyons of Pro Play, and they are going to be talking with us on an event that is upcoming. And in our final segment, we talk with Mr. Jalen James, event manager of NAS Enterprises. He too will be sharing with us information on an upcoming event. Pretty tight morning.
And viewers, there you have it for our rundown this morning. But before we get into any of these conversations, we want you to stay right here with us, and we want you to share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
John's Bar on the Boulevard presents the Tobago Vibes Festival. 1 weekend, 4 free events. That's right, 4 nights of freeness at John's Bar. Thursday, April 2nd, we start off with the Conscious Vibes at I Love Reggae, featuring international reggae superstar Roz Shiloh.
On to Zion we go, and I can't move slow, no.
Shiloh.
Are you satisfied? Wipe the tears from your eyes.
Also featuring TNT's very own Kevin Carter and Garden Knight, alongside your favorite reggae-matic DJs. Easter weekend on the Esplanade. It's the safe and secure, admission-free, first annual Tobago Vibes Festival. See social media for details. Keywords Tobago Vibes Festival. I Love Reggae. Powered by John's Bar on the Boulevard.
People, the 4th and 5th of April, it's all about Arise. Tobago, we coming. Well, let's see the video of jumping out of planes for this one. Parachuting down to the Scarborough Amphitheater. Yes, this is the place to be. Along with other friends and them, and even the ones from Tobago too. Big up all yourself. We're going to have a great time in Jesus' name. Arise!
Arise! This full melodies come from heaven, so his praise are given to the King that given it.
Trinidad, Tobago and abroad, your chance to drive away in a brand new SUV is still on. The BHS Centennial Raffle has been extended to Thursday 30th April 2026. And that's not all. Prizes include travel for 2 to Miami and Curacao, Tobago staycation, iPhones, computers, smart TVs and more. Tickets still only $100. Get yours at selected outlets or at islandetickets.com. Details at bishopstobago100.com/raffle.
We get ready as the Conby Mount Pleasant Community Council brings to you the Easter Sport and Family Day. On Monday, 6th April, Easter Monday, we transform the Mount Pleasant recreational grounds. We kick off with track and field events, novelty races, Easter bonnet competition, the Greasy Pole Challenge, and the highly anticipated William Woods Premier Goat Racing Classic. Huge prizes to be won, and we can't forget the Kids Corner with rides and bouncy castles. At 7 p.m., it's an after party and stage show by popular artists and DJs. Grounds tickets cost $60 for adults and $30 for kids 5 to 12 years. Pavilion tickets cost $100 and children under 5 years are free. So register early for races. Check out Combi Mount Pleasant Community Council on Facebook. 474-4661. 474-4661 for more details. Live performance by the 2026 National Calypso Monarch Queen, Terry Lyons.
I need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing.
Hop, hop, hip hooray. Easter money's on its way. Some bunny's getting a great rate today. Looking for a rate that's bright and sunny? Hop on down for some Easter money. 1% interest through and through. Because we see you at BCU. Apply for a 1% Easter loan and let's hatch something great together. Hop, hop, hip hooray. Easter money's on its way.
I think part of the problem we have, and this is not unique to cardiology, but this concept of checkup is going for review. So for example, women are probably better at, they have the mammogram, they have the pap smear, an older patient may have a schedule with a healthcare clinic. So a lot of people in their 30s and their 40s and their 50s don't think of our healthcare as being part of a proactive thing. So they're waiting for something to happen, then go to the doctor.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
Arise!
Young people don't know the thing critical and crucial is Friday night place in the party usual. And on this Easter weekend, I'm going to be there for Arise at our beautiful twin Isle of Tobago. So looking forward to seeing you there. And remember, I fed up by the captivity, fed up by the lockdown. I find it's time to lose bear. The imprisonment got to stop now. Critical and crucial, see you there.
Arise!
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Viewers, welcome back. And before the break, we promised you a lineup this morning. But first on that lineup this morning, we have Dion Rodriguez. He is the tutor Tobago office, and he's here to talk to us about the Tobago Teachers Update. Good morning and welcome to you, Mr. Rodriguez.
Pleasant good morning, and a pleasant good morning to the teachers in the Tobago space and to your listening audience, all who are hearing, both locally, regionally, and internationally. A pleasant good morning to all.
Now, Mr. Rodriguez, let's start here. Tell us and the viewing public, how important is this issue in terms of the issues that have been put into the public domain affecting our teachers right now?
So there are a number of issues that have been put into the public domain. Chief of those is the leave classification issue. And I just want the public to understand what is happening or what is leave classification. Basically, a teacher, there's a provision for each teacher of 14 days of sick leave per year. Outside of that 14 days sick leave, things happen and persons do get sick and situations and circumstances occur. And as a result of that, they might go beyond the 14 days. Once you have extended beyond the 14 days, then those leave need to be classified. That is what we refer to as extended sick leave. It can be classified with pay, it can be classified without pay, or it can be classified with half pay. That determination is made according to the Education Act by the Minister of Education. Obviously, then it will be done at the Ministry of Education in Trinidad. For the past years, over the number of years, several years, more than 20 years, Tutor has been clamoring that this is a cumbersome process. Just picture in your mind that a leave application has to leave Tobago, travel all the way to Port of Spain. And we don't know what is going to be happening to the leave classification or as it travels over the seas. As we have seen, things have been lost, etc. Reach to Trinidad and wait months. Once it's classified, and it has to travel all the way back to Tobago. And Tutor has been clamoring for this, clamoring that Tobago needs to receive the authorization so that within our own space, we can have that level of autonomy and be able to classify our leave. So that has been the fight, and that is still the fight of Tutor. Tutor is saying that in the Tobago space, teachers' extended sick leave should be classified in Tobago and not this cumbersome process whereby you have to go all the way to Trinidad and back to Tobago.
Now, I'm just going off of what you just said in terms of having these paperwork having to go to Trinidad rather than having that authorization here in Tobago. What happens to a teacher during that waiting period, because you're saying they're waiting months?
All right, so what happens to the teacher? There are a number of negative fallouts as a result of that. One of the negative fallouts is that because you have this period of leave that needs to be classified, one, you no longer receives increments protocol because the government never wants to lose money. And because the government never wants to lose money, they make a decision that, listen, the policy is if you have extended sick leave, that you are not going to receive increments until a judgment or a determination is made on that extended sick leave. Secondly, there are those persons that have retired and they need to receive their superannuation benefits. Those individuals are also affected for the simple reason that, again, the government don't want to lose money. So therefore, unless that leave is classified, the processing of those benefits to individuals who have retired is halted until the extended sick leave for whatever period it is. It could be a period 5, 6, 7, 10 years, 15 years ago. Until that has been classified, that processing of the pension benefits is also halted. So these individuals are left in limbo where that is concerned because someone is not doing due diligence.
So Rodriguez, a couple of questions come to mind in this circumstance. Because you mentioned, first of all, that the process is cumbersome. Is this a digital process, or does physical paper applications still move between the islands? That's the first question that comes to my mind.
So it is still physical paper that moves throughout between the islands. Tobago would do up the teacher would make up the application requesting the extended sick leave. The division will ensure that all documentations are attached to that, and then it is forwarded. The paper trail is actually forwarded to Trinidad.
That is indeed cumbersome, but it puts an individual teacher in a bit of a bind because the employer isn't doing this process quickly, but then it also prevents you from, or the employer says, look, until this is settled, we can't do this which you're entitled to. But it is the employer who, by and large, has a process that stores it. What's the government or the ministry's take on the fact that their own systems are causing problems for the system?
All right, thank you. And I'm glad you asked that question. And that's where the union come in, because we live in a society, I am of the opinion, based on my few months in office, that sometimes the employer are not in tune, one, or they just don't care about the plights of their employees. And we see that happening. So last year, under the immediate past Tobago officer, an agreement would have been based on a tripartite meeting between the CPO office, the Ministry of Education, and Tutor, that in principle, Tobago is going to start to classify those leaves. I don't know who gave the instruction, but all those applications were packed in a box. Based on our understanding, approximately between 200 to 300 applications were packed in a box and returned to Tobago without being classified. So right now in this space, Tobago teachers are in limbo. In limbo because Tobago has not yet received that authorization, which has to come through a cabinet decision. Tobago has not yet received that authorization, and in the Tobago space, Trinidad has already returned between 200 to 300 applications, which was their responsibility, and teachers just lay waiting as to what is going to happen. And Tutor position on this is that this is untenable. This is disrespectful, as a matter of fact, and this is unacceptable, and we denounce such action. And we are saying, based on consultation and discussions previously had and having a clearer understanding as to what is happening in the Tobago space, that Trinidad needs to take this up as a project and ensure that that box that was sent down to them, that it's processed before Tobago teachers, it must be processed as was requested by them, by Tobago teachers.
You said something that's a bit worrisome, and I'm hoping that my interpretation of it is wrong. When you said 300 applications in a box, I mean, if I were a teacher, mine could just be in a pile. Do these things not probably go on a file? If I, as an individual teacher, make an application, does it not go on a file that identifies this individual teacher as opposed to probably just a stack of papers? I mean, am I hearing that right?
So definitely you're hearing it right. What we understand is that there's one file number attached, and that file number is the Tobago House of Assembly, the Division of Education, Skills and Innovation. So those things, the filing process has not been done, and it has not been done correctly. So these things are just packed in a box there, and one file number has been attached and nothing is happening. This is very disturbing. The more I think about it, the more upset I get as the Tobago officer, because you are saying to the Tobago teachers that we are not concerned about you, and this is bread and butter issues, because if you have a leave that is classified without pay, after 1 year there's no redress that you can get as a teacher at the National Insurance Board, and we need to take Tobago teachers and Tobago teachers' concern more seriously.
In our previous conversation before coming on air, you mentioned that there are quite a few principals who are acting, or as you say, performing duties. How widespread is this issue on the island of Tobago?
All right, so in the Tobago space, I don't have the empirical data as to numbers, but during my visits to school, there are a number of teachers in the principals, both at the primary schools, more so at the primary schools. There are a number of principals at the primary schools that are acting, or what they are referring to now as performing the duties of principal. Widespread from Charlottesville, come right down to Bonaccord, across Lansome. There are individuals that are what the teaching service would say are performing the duties of principals.
Now, what risks does this performing duties pose, not just for the teachers who are acting in this position, but for the schools that they are responsible for? Because you mentioned leave classification and things of this such. What does this pose for our teachers who are there performing duties as opposed to being appointed as principals?
All right, so when you are performing duties, one of the first things we have to understand is that you have not yet received that official documentation from Teaching Service Commission. Teaching Service Commission is the one that states through documentation based on recommendation from the Tobago House of Assembly, the HR department, that you as an individual is officially acting in a position that is vacant. So acting is based on seniority. So in most schools, the most senior teacher acts in a particular position. But the challenge with that is that most times these individuals that are acting in positions also hold middle management positions. For example, they might be senior teachers in some instances, they might be head of departments in some instances. And what is happening is that these individuals are being burnt out because they have to perform the responsibilities, they have to engage in doing all that is required as a principal, but they are not being remunerated for it, and they are not given that level of comfort. It's a level of frustration on the part of these principals.
Now, beyond the administrative challenges, there were also concerns about teacher well-being and the employee assistance program. Was that issue rectified from the last time that you posed it to the public?
Well, based on information that we would have received, we usually have monthly meetings with the Division of Education, Skills and Innovation. Since I've become Tobago officer, we have had 2 such statutory meetings, and information received is that that situation has been resolved. The THA would have cleared all outstanding bills, although there was an instance where a teacher would have called the number and they would have indicated that she would have had to pay. Information receiving us, and I sent 3 other persons actually after that, and I indicated to them, if you are having challenges, to please please let me know. And those individuals did not reach back to me to say, listen, we are having challenges, Mr. Rodriguez. So I'm of the opinion that that situation has since been addressed.
Now, given that rectification in terms of that issue, do you believe that teachers are being do they feel supported right now, given the fact that this assistance program was put back on stream in light of all the challenges that they are currently facing?
Well, that is one aspect. That's a terms and conditions situations. And yes, teachers are thankful for the EAP program. It was as recent as yesterday that a teacher is telling me that I'm going to utilize it. So it's a feature of your terms and condition that teachers appreciate. But outside of that, there are so many issues that the teachers in this space face that one doesn't dilute the other, or one doesn't cover the other. There are so many issues that the teachers in this space face that, yes, we are appreciative that the EAP program is available, but there are many other issues that the teachers have to face from day to day.
Mr. Rodriguez, I want to go back to the issue of the performance of duties. If a teacher is performing duties for which, for example, there's no acting appointment, but they're performing these duties, are there any implications for, how do you say, if somebody makes a decision that can be challenged later on, are there implications for this teacher performing these duties in terms of who authorized you to make this decision that things happen, it may have some negative fallout later on? Are there implications for this person's career or their record of service or anything like that?
Well, before they start performing the duties, they receive what we refer to as an initial letter from the Division of Education, Skills and Innovation. So as it stands, even though they are performing duties because they have not received, you see, all appointments must be done by Teaching Service Commission. So the Tobago House of Assembly don't have the powers to do so, but they would have given these individuals introductory letters. So any form of litigation really lies within, unless the teacher does something that falls outside of the ambit, that responsibility falls on the Tobago House of Assembly.
Okay.
Now, are there any immediate plans to meet with the Teaching Service Commission to address these concerns? Are there any immediate plans to have any meetings with them?
Yes, we are meeting with the Teaching Service Commission actually this Thursday, the 26th of March at 1:30 p.m. So the tutor meets with the Teaching Service Commission this Thursday at 1:30 p.m.
I have one more question for you, Mr. Rodriguez. How involved, I'm hearing the depth of passion in your voice. How involved is the national executive in your trust for the addressing of issues that face the Tobago teacher, or do you see some bit of a nonchalance, as it were, as apparently comes from the ministry as well with the Tobago? Do you have that challenge with your association, or do you have the full support as you would like it?
Well, you would have seen in recent times, as early as last week, before the Tobago officer would have spoke, that our president was on the ball with the situation with teachers' salary in Tobago. I must say, with this present crop of national officers, we are all on board and we are working together. It was yesterday that I was in Trinidad for an officers meeting discussing the challenges that the Tobago teachers face as one of the issues, and we are one unit and we are trying best as national officers to represent teachers not just in Trinidad or Tobago, but to do it on a holistic level, and I'm receiving that full support. In short time, you're going to see, once we don't receive this situation where leave classification is concerned, a number of things are going to be revealed, and we're going to launch a tremendous campaign to ensure that it's happening. So I'm getting that support from the national officers as we speak.
Now, Mr. Rodriguez, we want to thank you so much for coming on this morning, sharing some of the updates, some of the issues that our teachers are currently still facing. But before we end the interview, I want you to share some parting words for SEA students and parents for SEA that will be on Thursday.
Thank you. So I want to say to the SEA students, you have put in the work. You are going to do that exam Thursday that you have prepared for, and give it your best. Yes, you're going to, when you get into the exam, I trust that you're not going to engage in anything on Thursday morning that you are not accustomed to. Ensure that you continue with your regular routine. When doing the exam, especially mathematics, you might encounter questions that you are posing a challenge. Rather than remaining on that question, I advise you to proceed with your exam and return to that question, because sometimes what happens when you remain on that exam, it creates a level of anxiety for you as a student. So give it your best. You have done your best. You have done the preparation. Go forth and excel.
Thank you so much, Mr. Rodriguez. Up next, we have Jayon James, Event Manager, NAS Enterprises Limited, and we're talking about the Dixie Kickoff Beach Football Tournament. So stay tuned and we'll be right back with that interview. But remember to share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
Baby, when you whine on me,
Somebody get the phone, go to the telephone.
I get wet. I get wet. I get wet.
We get ready as the Conby Mount Pleasant Community Council brings to you their Easter Sport and Family Day. On Monday, 6th April, Easter Monday, we transform the Mount Pleasant recreational grounds. We kick off with track and field events, novelty races, Easter bonnet competition, the Greasy Pole Challenge, and the highly anticipated William Woods Premier Goat Racing Classic. Huge prizes to be won, and we can't forget the Kids Corner with rides and bouncy castles. At 7 p.m., it's our after party and stage show by popular artists and DJs. Grounds tickets cost $60 for adults and $30 for kids 5 to 12 years. Pavilion tickets cost $100 and children under 5 years are free. So register early for races. Check out Conby Mount Pleasant Community Council on Facebook. 474-4661. 474-4661 for more details. Live performance by the 2026 National Calypso Monarch Queen, Terry Lyons.
I need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing.
Trinidad, Tobago and abroad, your chance to drive away in a brand new SUV is still on. The BHS Centennial Raffle has been extended to Thursday, 30th April 2026. And that's not all. Prizes include travel for two to Miami and Curacao, Tobago staycation, iPhones, computers, smart TVs, and more. Tickets still only $100. Get yours at selected outlets or at islandetickets.com. Details at bishopstobago100.com/raffle.
Hop, hop, hip hooray, Easter money's on its way. Some bunny's getting a great rate today. Looking for a rate that's bright and sunny? Hop on down for some Easter money. 1% interest through and through, because we see you at BCU. Apply for a 1% Easter loan and let's hatch something great together. Hop, hop, hip hooray, Easter money's on its way.
I think part of the problem we have, and this is not unique to cardiology, but this concept of checkup is going for review. So for example, women are probably better at, they have the mammogram, they have the pap smear, an older patient might have a schedule with a healthcare clinic. So a lot of people in their 30s and their 40s and their 50s don't think of our healthcare as being part of a proactive thing. So they're waiting for something to happen, then go to the doctor.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Viewers, welcome back in studio with us. We have Jayon James, Event Manager, NAS Enterprises Limited. And he's here to talk to us about the Dixie Kick-Off Beach Football Tournament. Good morning and welcome to you.
Good morning, viewers.
So for the viewers hearing about this, what exactly is the Dixie Kickoff Beach Football Tournament?
Well, it's just a football tournament coming off by Bermuda's Dixie, trying to bring out as much Tobagonians and foreigners that are on the island for the Easter period. So it's a family-oriented event, and we're just coming out to have some fun.
For me, Mr. James, Easter is a period in Tobago that's already full of activities. Do you see this as a challenge to this event being successful in terms of response? Have you been getting the responses that you think are going to make it a successful event? Do you think it's going to crowd unnecessarily the period? Or do you think it's an additional event that can really hold its own during an already busy period?
Definitely an event to hold its own based on the nature of the event. I don't think there is anything of this nature around that time, so I think it stands alone. This year in particular, we hardly had any major event. I mean, we have the popular events that happens on the Monday and the Tuesday, but around that normally we have some big shows, international acts and stuff like that. This year definitely didn't have anything like that, and I think it was the perfect time to introduce something like this and create a sporting event on the calendar for the Easter period in Tobago.
Now, what can patrons expect on the day beyond the football tournament? Is it a live family get-together, competitive tournament? Tell us what the day would feel and look like to the patrons attending.
Definitely a line, a lot of giveaways. Definitely a lot of Bermuda's giveaways. We have a lot, couple other sponsors on board. I could directly speak to Shandy, Nestle, holiday snacks for sure. So we have a lot of giveaways, So we're asking all the families, children, mommy, daddy, uncle, nenen, bring the family, come out. It's going to be a lime. So it's in Pigeon Point, it's right next to the bar. The ambience going to be great. I think we have all our logistics in place for persons to come and just have a breezy evening on the beach.
Now, how many teams are you expecting to participate this year, and also give us a bit of how individuals can register and be a part of this experience?
Right, so we're looking for anywhere between 8 to 10 teams. So far we have at least 5 teams officially registered. The registration process is very easy. We're looking at 6 players each team. Each player is asked to purchase 1 pack of the Dixie overwrap, which is the 6-pack. So that is 6 Dixie overwrap per team. Show proof of purchase, and we just fill out the registration form with basic information, and you're in.
Now, when does registration close off? Because I know that it's something that is critical for persons to pay attention to and to keep in mind so that they don't miss out on this activity. Also, share with us your socials where individuals can stay updated on this event.
Right, so we have the registration close date for the 27th of March. We'll try to give a little bit of leeway because a lot of persons reaching out, Trinidad teams as well. So depending on the feedback by now and then, we will make the decision if we want to close off on the morning of the event. But so far we're going good, so we'll see how that goes. Concerning the socials, we have Dixie, that is Instagram, and we have Naz Enterprises Limited on Instagram. We have the flyer and stuff up for persons, and then we have the phone number on there for persons to reach out just in case they need any additional information.
You mentioned teams from Trinidad showing interest. You say teams, so obviously more than one, but have they indicated any challenges? We know that travel between the islands during the Easter period has perennially been an issue. Have they indicated any such challenges in terms of securing tickets for travel, whether by air or sea? And can the sponsors in any way help to treat with that kind of issue, knowing that there is perennially that challenge?
Well, so far we haven't got any information about challenges. I know for sure we had at least 3 teams reaching out. Each one of them just said, no, we're trying to get our stuff together to come across. That was basically the final conversation. We'll do a follow-up. We actually did a follow-up, and that was not a conversation, so I guess everything will be smooth on that end. Once they come in, I think we're cool with that. If we have to make any form of provision, we'll try our best to assist in whatever way. So, saying yes or no at this point, I wouldn't be able to answer that, but we'll try our best.
All right. How does NAS Enterprises and the primary responsible media see this? Is it something that we'd want to continue in the future? Do you want to make this a staple of the Easter weekend in Tobago? The Easter weekend seems to be extending, as it were, with more and more events happening on the Tuesday. Is this something that you're looking at for the long term, or is this a kind of stopgap because there were not many of the big activities as we normally have them?
No, definitely long term. As I would have conversated with them, Tobago, as a Tobago-based promoter, event coordinator, as you might call it, based on the conversation, I explained to them that we need to do a little bit more in this space, and we need to do it more strategic. So, as I said, the injection of this event would have, at this time, I think would have been the perfect time to introduce something like this, and in moving forward is to build around it, to involve the necessary stakeholders to make it better. So if we know we have to introduce it to probably the schools, or we have to do a little bit more, a little bit less, to make it make sense for us, futuristically, I think that is the only way out. But in terms of longevity, I think we're going in it for the long haul, and yeah, hopefully more events like this, not necessarily for Easter, could come on board, and more corporate sponsors could come on board in the Tobago space and do stuff.
Now I'm shifting a bit to the team and participation rules. We're seeing teams are limited to 6 players. Are there any age restrictions, or is this open to everyone? And you mentioned the uniforms. How strict is that in terms of participation?
Well, concerning the age, we do have an age different, an age gap, or an age limit, I should say. Uniforms is just for proper identification on the ground. So if we know we were in black and white and next team were in red and white, we just want to be able to identify the players on the field at the time. I don't think we're doing anything too strict. The rules, or the strict rules per se, will be the rules on the day, like no skate tackling. The referee's decisions is final. So we want persons to be on time. We have the 12-minute gameplay, where we have 6 minutes each half hour, half time, sorry, and then we have the 1 minute in between the breaks. Players also have 1 minute for the when the referee call to assemble to go on the field. Those are just the simple rules on the day, and we're supposed to run smoothly, make sure everybody in good sportsmanship, and we come into have fun.
Now, what would you say to someone or individuals who want to come but they're still a bit unsure? This is your time to pitch to them why they should participate in this event.
Well, we have a cash prize, so we're doing $6,000 for the first place, $3,000 for the second place, $1,500 for the third place. I think you need to come out. All the football teams come in, try to bring a team. If you know you cannot get a team in, come out, support. I mean, next year, hopefully we could tear up the stakes a bit. It's a family event, as I say, a friendly event. Come out and have some fun and enjoy the sport of football.
And just share with the viewers the date, the time, and the where once more before we wrap up this interview.
Right, so the date, the 7th of April, location, Pigeon Point Heritage Park. The time, we're looking to kick off by 12 o'clock. And yeah, come out, have some fun with the Dixie team.
Now, Mr. James, I want to thank you so much for coming on and promoting the event, the Dixie Kickoff Beach Football Tournament. We're wishing you all the success as you go forward on this venture. And we hope that a lot of teams come out to support, and the people in Tobago come out for this Easter event to support our teams as they take on this venture. We can make a team. I cannot play football. There are rules in football I still do not understand to this day. As far as I know, once the ball is kicked into the goal, you have a goal depending on which side. We're not going to go into details.
You're going to make a good chair. I don't think you need to be on the team. So when you go in the goal, you just chair for your team and we're good to go.
We could work with that.
I think you have enough guys in here to form a team, man.
Well, viewers, up next we have Casey Henry, founder of ProPlay, and Dominic Lyons, the operations manager, and they're here to talk about the Clean Sheet 5-a-side football tournament. Stay tuned, we'll be right back, and remember to share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, where innovation meets excellence and the service reigns supreme. Our commitment is simple: to provide high-quality, innovative aluminum, vinyl, and glass solutions for both commercial and residential spaces. At TGSL, we don't just meet needs, we exceed expectations. Our range includes the finest aluminum cladding options, setting new standards in durability and style. Driven by our passion to elevate, we aim to be the leading supplier in the Caribbean market while retaining our identity as a family-owned business. Because at Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, it's not just about products. It's about relationships. It's about you. Innovation, quality, service. That's Tobago Glass Supplies Limited.
Our world is filled with rhythm. Rhythm that's unapologetic, infectious, timeless. Rhythm is commitment in action. It's how we show up for each other with unrelenting support that goes the distance. Rhythm lives in the tiny beats of our most intimate moments and the seismic roars of our biggest achievements. Rhythm is resilience in motion. So even when things go out of sync, we do what it takes to bring the rhythm back. At Flow, we understand your rhythm because we live it. That's why we're dedicated to building a network as resilient as you, with a team of familiar faces working every day to keep you on beat. You're at the heart of everything we do, and our commitment is to keep your rhythm flowing, no matter what.
We get ready as the Conby Mount Pleasant Community Council brings to you their Easter Sport and Family Day. On Monday, 6th April, Easter Monday, we transform the Mount Pleasant recreational grounds. We kick off with track and field events, novelty races, Easter bonnet competition, the Greasy Pole Challenge, and the highly anticipated William Woods Premier Goat Racing Classic. Huge prizes to be won, and we can't forget the Kids Corner with rides and bouncy castles. At 7 p.m., it's an after party and a stage show by popular artists and DJs. Grounds tickets cost $60 for adults and $30 for kids 5 to 12 years. Pavilion tickets cost $100 and children under 5 years are free. So register early for races. Check out Conby Mount Pleasant Community Council on Facebook. 474-4661. 474-4661 for more details. Live performance by the 2026 National Calypso Monarch Queen, Terry Lyons.
I need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing.
The Caribbean is more than just a place. It's a spirit, resilient, vibrant, and full of possibility. It's who we are and the heart of everything we do. For over 150 years, we've been right here, invested in the Caribbean, its people, and its progress. And today, we're going even further. We're deepening our commitment to the region, continuing to invest in the networks, services, and digital solutions that move Caribbean businesses forward. Whether you are a mid-sized business or multinational player, we bring you resilient connectivity, personalized service, and tailored IT solutions, all powered by local teams that truly have your back. We're here to help you navigate challenges, grow, and achieve your goals with practical solutions, reliable networks, and a partnership rooted in trust and your long-term success. Liberty Business, rooted in the Caribbean, committed to you.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Viewers, welcome back, and in studio with us we have Casey Henry, founder of ProPlay, and Dominique Lyons, operations manager, and we're speaking about the Clean Sheet five-a-side football tournament. Good morning and welcome to you.
Good morning.
Now, Dominique, let's start here. What exactly is the Clean Sheet event and what can Tobago expect on March 30th?
Okay, the Clean Sheet is a five-a-side football tournament. The Clean Sheet, is a five-a-side football tournament. It's not just about football. We're raising awareness to kidney cancer, which is something that is predominantly affects men. All right, so it's a five-a-side football tournament held at the Eric Hovell Recreational Facility in Calder Hall. Just come out and have some fun.
Now, the name Clean Sheet is very interesting. What does it symbolize for this event?
In football, clean sheet represents not scoring any goals. So we use the name to symbolize a clean bill of health. We try to encourage people, especially young men, to put your health first and take care of yourselves.
Now, Casey, this event highlights, as Dominique mentioned, it supports kidney cancer. Why was it important to mention this as part of the event's purpose?
Okay, so the month of March is actually Kidney Cancer Awareness Month. But more than that, we chose to bring awareness to kidney cancer because it's a topic that isn't conversed about a lot. And as Dominic mentioned, it is one that affects men more than women. So meeting men in a space where they already feel comfortable to share those health tips kind of seems like a win-win because it won't seem as rigid or like we're forcing information on them. It's just to bring awareness within a space that feels natural to them and hoping that they take the message well.
Now, Casey, who are the key organizers behind this event and how did this collaboration come together to put forth Clean Sheet?
Alright, so the event is actually being hosted by ProPlay Sporting Events as well as the Rotary Club of Tobago. Fun fact, I am on the board of directors for the Rotary Club of Tobago, and it was a no-brainer to incorporate the two initiatives as one. We would have been able to contact with the Rotary through myself. I mean, Dominic is also a member as well, and when we see the need for public awareness with different health challenges or things like that, we found it fitting to incorporate some sort of fun with educational purpose.
So we're hearing the name ProPlay Sporting Events. Tell us what ProPlay exactly is and what inspired its creation.
Alright, so ProPlay is actually a sporting events business that puts a little spin on how we do sporting events. Alright, usually sporting events are more athlete focused or very focused on the participation of the sportsmen. We wanted to bring a kind of holistic approach to how we do sports in Tobago by creating an environment for youth engagement, health awareness, and just bringing more community impact through sports. In terms of how it was conceptualized, I have to be honest here. I got fed up of myself, really and truly. a lot of the times my friends would always tell me, you're so good at planning things, why you don't become my events manager, why you don't do something with it. At the time I didn't think anything of it. I mean, I was just doing it for fun. But as time went on, I started to get a lot of good ideas. I would pitch it to Dominic, and he was like, yeah, that's a good idea, write that down. And I'd write it down and it gets forgotten in the book of ideas. So I made a promise to myself that the next time I think about an event, I would wholeheartedly develop it and push it to the best of my ability. And that's really how Pro Play was formed.
Now, Dominique, we're switching back to you. Who can participate in this tournament? Is it open to anyone or is it just to organized teams?
This tournament is open to anyone, whether you're a group of friends, organized team, or just someone that's passionate about the sport. You can come, reach out to our pages, register, and once you think you have what it takes to compete, you're open to take part in this experience.
Now, this is a five-a-side format. What makes this style of football more interesting for the players and those interested in participating?
Apart from the normally there's like 7-a-side, but 5-a-side is more fast-paced, right? It's no goalkeeper, so everyone has to be playing the entire game, right? It's flying subs. You can make your subs as quickly as you can, and it's a smaller field, so that means it's less space. So it's more competitive, I would say. So 5-a-side is a bit more fast-paced than the regular football, and it's way entertaining. I think the players would love it.
Now, in terms of registration, you spoke about registration. Where can individuals go to register their teams and themselves to be a part of this event?
You can reach out to our social media page. There is ProPlay.tt on Instagram. Facebook, we have ProPlay Sporting Events, and TikTok, ProPlay Sporting Events as well. You will see the flyer. There's our contact numbers, both Casey and myself. You can reach out to us. There's also a link for registration where people can put their name, their team names, the color, and register for the event.
Now, Casey, for persons coming out to support, what can they expect at this event beyond just the football matches?
Well, as a professional spectator, we try to curate this event with something for everyone. So there'll be a fun zone, but the fun zone isn't just for the kids. There will be the basketball shootouts, cornhole. So there's something for everyone to enjoy. There are also going to be vendors. And I'll touch a little bit on the vendors because kidney cancer awareness also has a lot to do with your food intake. And we tried as best as possible to stray away from the typical wings and fries and things like that. So we had conversations with our vendors to explain to them the cost. So that was a bit of education as well, and allow them to come up with new ideas. So you might see Dashin Pilori. Just
that sounds very interesting.
Yeah. So those type of things with the vendors, and we also have a lot of giveaways for the participants, right? So it's gonna be an event for everyone.
Now, is this a one-time event, or can we expect more initiatives like this in the future with Pro Play?
You can definitely expect more initiatives like this with Pro Play. We really try to push the status quo, finding new ways to do the same thing. And I think with the support that we have had so far, it would definitely allow us to propel into a new level of sporting events.
Now, to the both of you, or specifically Dominique, what message do you want young men to take away from an event like this as we wrap up the interview?
The message that I want young men to take away from this is we need to take our health seriously. We know that in the Caribbean we have this saying where we'll just say is gas pain, drink some tea. But sometimes it's more than just gas pain, right? I think we really do as men need to take our health a bit more seriously. Kidney cancer is something that affects a lot of men, maybe even in Tobago, the statistics show, and I really just want young men to come out, listen to what we have to say. We have some doctors come in that will be giving a little bit of tidbits, some advice, so we'll be able to tell them to go get checked out and do certain things to prevent this cancer. And I just want young men to be mindful that this is real and we need to take our health very seriously.
So Casey, final pitch, give them the date, the time, and the way so that they can be a part of Pro Play's 5-a-side clean sheet football tournament?
So the event is happening on the 30th of March. That's a holiday. I know a lot of persons have been asking why a Monday. It's a holiday, right? It's happening from 9 a.m. at the Eric Hovell Recreation Facility. That's in Color Hall. And I would really encourage persons to come out and support this event. It is something that's really unique. And we're also hoping to at least support a few young men with sporting vouchers. So it's all about giving back, still having fun, and creating a sense of environment of community impact through sports. So come out, support. It's free to participate. However, for the teams, it's $900 to register, which you could find the link on our socials. And yeah, just come out and have a good time.
Thank you so much. And this is indeed football with a purpose. We want you guys to come out and support, register, be a part of the fun initiative, and ensure that you take the time to take care of your health as well. Viewers, this has brought us to the end of our interviews for this morning, but I want you guys to stay tuned. We'll be right back after the break. But remember to share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
This is how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show, and everybody's gonna know. Say it to them once again. They better look up below. This is your show, and everybody's gonna know. That's how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show.
Yo, one of them know the thing critical and crucial is Friday night blaze in the parts usual. And on this Easter weekend, I'm gonna be there for Arise at our beautiful twin Isle of Tobago. So looking forward to seeing you there. And remember, I fed up by the captivity, fed up by the lockdown. I find it's time to lose bear. The imprisonment got to stop now. Critical and crucial, see you there.
Arise!
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back, viewers. We had quite the lineup this morning. We spoke about sports. We had the Dixie kickoff beach football tournament that's on April 7th. We have the clean sheet five-a-side football tournament that's going to be on March the 30th. And we had the conversations about Tobago teachers update this morning with Dion Rodriguez. Alex,
it's interesting that we had two conversations about football and we still can't convince you to play in one team.
No,
but it's been an interesting morning.
Very, very interesting morning. I would not be offering myself to be playing football anytime soon. I am quite okay with that that resolution.
I heard Casey offer you a lifeline. She's a professional spectator.
Yes, I can 100% agree with that. I am a professional spectator. I would go to sit and enjoy the vibes and hear when they say, yay, goal. But I am not going to be participating as a participant in any football matches.
Make sure you bring out a team of supporters too, because these events are not just events for the sake of having, especially the clean sheet. I really paid attention to the fact that something that we don't hear much about men's health, and you know, often you hear about women's health and the various cancers that they battle, but hearing a competition to highlight men's health, and true enough, I really hardly hear about kidney cancer. It's the first I heard that kidney cancer primarily affects men. I did not know that. So, you know, we really have these events that not only provide recreation and fun, but it really does provide some education. So folks, go out and support, be part of what is happening, and contribute something to your community.
And I would also say, in light of Dominique mentioning the kidney cancer, it's really good to see men in this space encouraging their fellow men as well to take care of their health, because for so long we're always saying that there isn't enough spaces or avenues for men to really speak about their issues in terms of health, in terms of some of the things that they want to do. But seeing now that men are taking the onus upon themselves to actually put themselves in these initiatives to deal with these issues, I think it would encourage other men to also step forward and do what they have to do for their community of men. We always see women forming that community for one another.
Exactly, and
calling
getting
each other
their stuff
out,
done.
keeping them accountable. But it's good now that we're seeing our men also doing the same and calling their men out as well and holding them accountable.
Gentlemen, young, not so young, everybody come out and take care of your health as well. Be part of these activities. And you know what, even if you don't play football like some people, just get moving. You know, sometimes we choose sedentary lifestyle, but move. So if you can't play football, go walk around the field in your community, but take care of your health, men, because guess what, if we don't, there's nobody who can do it for us.
Thanks for the job, Alex, you know. Yes, thanks for the job.
Oh, you're most welcome.
Viewers, this has brought us to the end of the programming here at Tobago Updates Morning Show. We want to thank you so much for viewing and staying with us this morning. But the programming is not done. Up next, we have GMT with Chanel Felix. Remember to stay tuned and share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
Yes, I love golf. I love to play golf.
Urban's Golf Academy, this is the 4th annual School Golf Intercall, and the initiative to start this School Golf Intercall because all sports has an intercall, and we are in the schools and we are teaching this game of golf, pre-primary and soon to be secondary, right? So I came up with the idea, why not have a school golf intercall with drive, chip, putt and relay? And starting it off was a great success, and every year it has increased, and it does fill my heart with joy to see golf on the island, especially short game, chipping, putting and drive, promoting golf and the school golf intercall.
Signal Hill has been a part of this golf intercall for the 4th year. Since its inception, we have held top school in more than 1 year consecutively. Being here representing Signal Hill with my students is a phenomenal experience. At Signal Hill, we encourage our students to take part in different activities, golf being one of the disciplines, several areas, and it allows children to express themselves. So we are truly excited to be here yet again. I want to thank Miss Irvin for her coming with this novel idea and embracing it in such a way to it being what it is today.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
Tobago is to conserve health, heritage, and livelihood. We must approach medicinal and aromatic plants with a framework of sustainability tailored to our island's reality. This means strengthening forest management in Tobago, promoting responsible cultivation among local farmers, investing in research that reflect our unique ecosystems, and formally recognizing traditional practitioners. It requires a continued collaboration among stakeholders to ensure that agro-processing and entrepreneurial initiatives are pursued within a regulated, environmentally sound system that benefits Tobago first.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
You're viewing Tobago Updates Television, your exclusive gateway to Tobago, broadcasting the beauty of this island paradise to the world.
Good morning and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. I am your host, Chanel Felix. And ladies and gentlemen, you know whenever you see me sitting here, it's because we're about to have those conversations that you want to have while I ask those questions that you want asked. But before we get into this morning's interesting topics and conversations, let's have our news in 90 seconds. A major de-escalation in global hostilities as news breaks of direct talks between US President Donald Trump and the new Iranian leadership over the weekend. The move towards a ceasefire comes at a poignant point for the local community, even as Tobago celebrated Eid. While the Muslim community represents a small percentage of our island, the hope for regional stability in the Middle East has been expressed by local Muslim leaders. Additionally, Tobago's finest are heading out to fly the flag. 16 elite athletes have been officially selected to represent the island at the Carifa Games next week in Grenada. These competitors, spanning several disciplines, have shown remarkable resilience despite challenges to accessing training facilities at competition standards. Coaches say the team is in peak physical condition and ready to showcase the Tobago brand of excellence against the best in the Caribbean. And finally, the countdown is in its final 48 hours. The Division of Education, Skills and Innovation confirmed at yesterday's press media briefing that all arrangements are finalized for the secondary entrance assessment this Thursday, March 26th. Coordinated support teams are in place across all Tobago primary schools to ensure a seamless environment for our students. We remind Parents are reminded to keep their scholars calm and focused as they prepare for this academic milestone. And that was our news in 90 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, as I have read in the news in 90 seconds this morning, Tobago has a number of athletes that will be representing us at the 2026 Carifa Games. This morning we are chatting all about that with Miss Kuki Melville, who is joining us virtually this morning, and we're talking about Tobago's representation at the Games. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me this morning.
Good morning. First of all, Tobago has 16 athletes, according to our news this morning, that are heading into the Carifa Games that span a number of disciplines. Tell us a bit about what are some of the areas that Tobago will be competing in firstly.
Okay, good morning again, everyone. So we have, as you mentioned, 16 athletes going into the Carifa Games from Tobago. We have an array of events ranging from sprints to jumps to the middle distance and throws as well. So it's an array of events that we have our athletes from Tobago representing in.
Excellent. And we know that a number of repeat performers will be in the games this year that are coming to defend their titles. Tell us a bit about some of the clubs that are represented and some of the individuals that we are going to be seeing there coming out to shine.
Sure. So we have approximately 5 clubs that the athletes are coming out of, Kaizen Panthers, Senate. We have Mercury, Tobago Select, and also RSS Phoenix. Some of the athletes we are looking for top contenders from O'Shea Cummings of Shore, right? She won the 1500 last year, and she's returning to defend her title this year. She will also be competing in the 800. Last year, she competed in the 3000 and she came third. But she's looking to step down into the 800 this year, and I think that she's going to go out there and do an exceptional job. Based on the time that she clocked last year to win the event, she has surpassed that performance this year. So we are expecting great things from O'Shea Cummings. We also have Zaya, who is under 17. She will be representing us in the jumps and in the sprints as well. And we have Alex Henry, who is returning. She's ranked number 3 at present in the World Under 20 in the 100 meters. So we also expect great performances from her, along with the other athletes. But those are some of the top contenders from Tobago that we are looking forward to. Also, Caleb is representing us in the multi-events. He would have medaled over the years in individual events as well. So we are expecting great things from him this year.
All right. Tell us a bit about the contingent that's heading to Grenada, if you can, or if you are aware of some of the persons who will be on that trip. Are parents invited to be a part of going out there and supporting the kids? Tell us a bit about that.
So most certainly, there is a supporters group in Trinidad, and that group, they come together and they will usually put packages that parents will subscribe to in terms of coming to the games. So we do have parents who would have reached out in terms of going to Grenada this year. There's a charter flight as well, so that affords persons the opportunity, to be able to get over to Grenada very easily via the charter. They will also be flying with the athletes because we are leaving on the 2nd. So there are supporters that will be there. We always look forward to having those supporters, all those noise that they make, to support our athletes. It really helps a long way. So we do have supporters that will be there this year, as well as parents.
All right. And even as it pertains to last year's performance from O'Shea Cummings, if I have her name pronounced right, we saw that she would have gotten... Right. We saw that she would have gotten a scholarship from her performance being highlighted at the games. Tell us a bit about the level of exposure that our athletes get from being a part of the Carifa Games. What are scouts and coaches looking at when it comes to the performances, and how can parents and coaches position their athletes to be able to benefit from the type of opportunities that come out of Carifa?
So most certainly. So athletes, scouts, they're always there. When you look around, you see a lot of the scouts, both for high school and for college. Now, Jamaica, they take their scouting very seriously when they come into high school. Their high school champs is on a total different level. That is like college material out there. So in order to be recognized, I mean, O'Shea, she went out there, she showed great performance last year, winning the 1500 and also placing third in the 3000. So based on her performance, the scouts would have seen, you know, she has that great potential to do better and to improve on her performances. So it's all about going out there. I mean, they look at the top 2-3 persons. And also, if they see that you have that promising, you know, ability inside of you, they will look at you. So it's a great opportunity. I mean, Carifa is the stepping stone for many of our athletes. A lot of athletes who participated at Carifa, they came out to be world champions, Olympic gold medalists. So this is the first step to be recognized on the regional and international stage. So it is important that, you know, parents invest a lot into athletes. I mean, you know, we always talk about taking them out of school when they have exams, etc. But you have to be able to allow the athletes to balance. It's all about balance, right? We have athletes who are competing in the Carifa Games. They have exams right now, but they are able to balance that and show great performances and on the school system.
Excellent. I'm glad that you mentioned that. One of the things that was highlighted is the fact that there are limited facilities that meet competition standards in Tobago, particularly with these struggles that are impacting the athletes and their ability to train at the same level of many other athletes throughout the region. How will the coaches be able to bridge that gap at the Carifa Games?
Right. So Tobago, our athletes are exceptional. To be able to go out there and represent us on the regional stage without having the resources that some athletes may have says a lot about our athletes in Tobago. And I want to point out that based on our performances from Tobago, the limited resources, the limited training facilities, a lot of persons are looking at our athletes and they're actually coming in and recruiting our athletes. And you will see that in terms of Jamaica. Jamaica comes in and recruit a lot of Tobago athletes. We actually have 5 athletes out there at present representing in the schools in Jamaica. So what we, in terms of bridging the gap with our coaches here, our coaches, they are doing their best as they can, but without the necessary resources, there's not much that the coaches will be able to do. They are there, they are improving themselves, improving their coaching capabilities, but without those resources in terms of the grounds, again, there's not much they could do. They just have to use what they have until better can be done. So it's really on the entities that are in charge of the facilities, in charge of the stadium, they could have coaches and athletes. Coaches are doing what they can with the resources that they have. So it's up to the authorities to put the necessary resources in place for our athletes.
Understood. And, you know, when we look at getting scholarships, we often think that students are getting scholarships to go to college. But very few times we hear about persons getting those high school scholarships to move from one high school in Tobago to another within the region. And so that's one of the things. How do parents feel comfortable allowing such young kids to go off to Jamaica on their own? Or what type of provisions are put in place to support the athletes while they are there?
Okay, so in terms of the support for the athletes there, that's in terms of a personal choice regarding parents. I am unable to say much in terms of speaking as a parent because I don't have any of the athletes out there, but I will want to say it is very challenging. I mean, I had the opportunity to go to college and I was already in my 18 years of age. So to have your 15-year-old and 16-year-old going over there, I believe it will be, you know, a challenging task to accept for the parents. but at the parents they all have a vision for their athletes, for their children, and I guess they are making the necessary sacrifices for them to go and get exposure out there. And again, we see that in O'Shea, the performance O'Shea had here last year. This year, she has surpassed those performances. So, I mean, it's all paying off. The sacrifices that the parents are making to send their children out there, send their children to Jamaica, to send them wherever they think that it allows them to improve their performances. We are seeing that is being paid off. So it's about sacrifices. The parents know what they want for the athletes. The athletes themselves know what they want. I saw O'Shea did an interview recently, and her mindset has totally improved over the period, and she knows what she wants. She knows what she's going out there for. So I will say it's working for them. Again, you have to sacrifice if you want to reap big rewards.
Right. And I can definitely see how, that level of independence can help to shape their character all wrong and kind of force them to mature a bit in a short space of time. And so it does help to build character. Now that O'Shea is in Jamaica, how would that be? What are the dynamics at Carifa? If she's in Jamaica, is she representing Tobago or is she representing Jamaica? And that's a question overall for the athletes. When they go to Jamaica and they get the tools, they get the resources, they get the training from the Jamaican economy, from the Jamaican resources, what country are they representing when they go to the Olympics or go to these international meets?
Well, it's clear. I mean, she will definitely be representing Trinidad and Tobago, and there are certain limitations. There are certain requirements if you have to decide that you want to go and represent another country. It's not just about attending a school out there, because we have athletes that are competing in the US and they come home to represent Trinidad and Tobago. So in this situation, of course, O'Shea will be representing Trinidad and Tobago. She has her Jamaican friends out there now, but we know she's going to be going and flying the Trinidad and Tobago flag very high, and we expect great results from her. I don't want to really preempt, but I am seeing some gold coming out of Tobago for the Carifa Games.
Excellent. And even as it pertains to Olympic Games and international games, in the future, how do athletes make that choice between whether or not they are representing Jamaica or Trinidad and Tobago when a lot of the training and stuff comes from Jamaica?
Okay. So, I mean, you have to look at it in this way. I mean, it's in terms of the performances in Trinidad, and you compare a lot of the performances in Jamaica, you now have to, weigh and levy and see where do I fall on the spectrum in terms of my performances. If I have to decide to change my allegiance to Jamaica, where do I fall? Is it that I'm in the top one, the top two, that I will be able to make the team? Or in terms of if I decide to represent Trinidad and Tobago, do I fall within the top one or two? So you have to really weigh where you fall on the spectrum in terms of the performances and make a conscious decision of who you want to represent. We have seen over the period that Jamaicans are changing their allegiance to other countries, and then again, that's also because of the rewards or the packages that they are offering. So that's another thing that athletes will look at in terms of the resources and the support that they may be getting from different countries. And I believe that our athletes do get better, not resources, but in terms of the financial assistance from the country.
Understood. And just to remind our audience that we're talking about the Carifa Games 2026 that are happening in Grenada at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium. This will be taking place in April from the 4th to the 6th. And we have 16 Tobago athletes that will be participating in the games. QK, is there anything that you want to say to our audience looking on this morning before we wrap up our conversation?
Okay, sure. So I want to say thank you for all those who have been supporting our athletes along the way. We have some diehard fans. I look online and I see our diehard fans supporting our athletes. I am asking that, everyone else come on board. Look out for the links that will be there. Support our athletes as much as you can. No, we're not about the naysayers and the negativity. We need all the support and all the well wishes and positive words that you could give out there. So that's what we are looking forward to from our supporters, and just continue to keep the team in prayer.
Excellent. Well, we want to thank you so much, and we want to send all the good vibes and good energy to our Tobago athletes who will be performing in the games. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll take a quick break right here, and we'll be back after this. See you soon.
John's Bar on the Boulevard presents the Tobago Vibes Festival. 1 weekend, 4 free events. That's right, 4 nights of freeness at John's Bar. Thursday, April 2nd, we start off with the Conscious Vibes at I Love Reggae, featuring international reggae superstar Ross Shiloh.
On to Zion we go, and I can't move slow, no.
Shiloh.
Are you satisfied? Wipe the tears from your eyes.
Also featuring TNT's very own Kevin Carter and Garden Knight, alongside your favorite reggae-matic DJs. Easter weekend on the Esplanade. It's the safe and secure, admission-free, first annual Tobago Vibes Festival. See social media for details. Keywords Tobago Vibes Festival. I Love Reggae. Powered by John's Bar on the Boulevard.
Trinidad, Tobago, and abroad, your chance to drive away in a brand new SUV is still on. The BHS Centennial Raffle has been extended to Thursday, 30th April 2026. And that's not all. Prizes include travel for 2 to Miami and Curacao, Tobago staycation, iPhones, computers, smart TVs, and more. Tickets still only $100. Get yours at selected outlets or at islandetickets.com. Details at bishopstobago100.com/raffle.
Coming up, another show-stopping performance from the Republic Bank Exeter Steel Orchestra as Antigua and Barbuda got ready for its own fiesta of color and energy. New ideas for Tobago tourism delivered at the Youth Congress. This highly rated property fits in perfectly with the vacation offerings of St. Kitts and Nevis, where the future of travel was laid out. It's all next on this station.
People, the 4th and 5th of April, it's all about Arise. Tobago, we coming. Well, let's see the video of jumping out of planes for this one. Parachuting down to the Scarborough Amphitheater. Yes, this is the place to be. Along with mother, friends and them, and even the ones from Tobago too. Big up all yourself. We're going to have a great time in Jesus' name. Arise!
Arise! Useful melodies come from heaven, so his praise are given to the king, not given it.
Hop, hop, hip hooray, Easter money's on its way. Some bunnies getting a great rate today. Looking for a rate that's bright and sunny? Hop on down for some Easter money. 1% interest through and through, because we see you at BCU. Apply for a 1% Easter loan and let's hatch something great together. Hop, hop, hip hooray, Easter money's on its way.
Good morning, and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. I am your host, Chanel Felix. Ladies and gentlemen, we jump straight ahead into our conversations, and we're talking about the 5th annual Nazis Fast 5 tournament. And this morning I have the privilege of chatting with the Member of Parliament for Tobago West, Mr. Joel Sampson. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Miss Felix.
All right. Well, we know that you are a guy that has always hosted these tournaments and engaged these sporting activities in the Bonaccord area. Mostly on the court, we've seen the cricket, the netball, all these events happening while you were the representative for that particular area. But now in your capacity as the MP for Tobago West, tell us a bit about how the tournament has evolved.
Right, so good morning again, Miss Felix. Good morning, Tobago. Well, now that I'm the Member of Parliament for Tobago West, things have to be done a bit differently. So me and the team, we sat down and we discussed how we will go forward. So for this edition of the Not So Fast 5, we are going to do it in various communities on various weekends. So whereas before we would have kept a full weekend of activities at the Bonaccord hard court, where we'd have the netball on a Friday night, the football during the day on a Saturday, the cricket on a Sunday, and then culminate with all the finals on the Sunday night. It's going to be a bit different this year.
Right.
You know, so come Saturday the 28th, we are going to jump things off with the netball edition at Montgomery Hard Court, starting off at 6 p.m. For the persons concerned about the football and the cricket, the football and the cricket is coming. 2 weeks after the netball, we will have the football. This year we're going to change it up a bit. So the Not So Fast 5 football this year is going to be held at the Corland ground, and we're going to do a 7-a-side instead of the 4-a-side. So,
right.
Right.
Okay, and tell us about, you know, the initial conception between Fast 5. What had Fast 5, what did that represent in the beginning of the planning stages? And tell us a bit about, now that you have to include the entire Tobago West, how do you see that evolving over time?
Well, it started off as a mere idea.
Right.
I was home one day looking at netball and I saw a Fast 5 competition, and I said to myself, you know, I could keep something like this, you know, geared towards that kind of quick event.
Right.
You know, where it's fun, it's action-packed, you know, it's competitive, you know, and we decided and we started on it. But now that we have expanded to the west, it's going to be a bit more exciting for many more communities, because we're now going into the different, there are like 8 electoral districts in Tobago West, so we're going to go into all the districts and we're going to have various events. So, you know, it gives each community an opportunity to come out to look forward to something. You know, the small vendors, they can come out and ply their trade, sell. No one has to pay a fee to come and sell. They can come set up whatever space, because it's a lot of space is set up, and you can do your vending and stuff. So it gives an opportunity for the small micro businesses to come out and generate some income. It also gives the community an opportunity to bond, to socialize, because, you know, the social fabric, the social aspect of things is very important.
Right.
So, you know.
Yeah, understood. And talk to us a bit about registering for the competitions. Are the registrations already closed? Can persons still register? I know that the netball competition is only a few days away, but as it pertains to football, the beach football, the cricket competition, all the other things, how can persons register for these events?
So as you're doing, we're taking it one event at a time. So for the netball, you can register on the day of the event as well. On the flyers, there are the numbers there. You can contact to register. There's James Thomas. His contact is 3680533. There's also Ashel Ligol. Her contact is there on the flyer as well. So you can reach out to them and register. Registration is very cheap, minimal fees we charge, but there are a lot of attractive prizes, grand prizes, I should say.
And
so, you know, for over the years, persons look forward to Not So Fast 5 because of the many attractive prizes and the giveaways as the competition goes on.
So I was just about to touch on that. What are some of the prizes that persons can expect from the competition, particularly the netball competition that's happening?
Right. So this Saturday, the netball competition, normally what we do our first and second prize.
Right.
So the first prize for the netball is $10,000.
Wow.
And the second prize is $5,000. Also, there will be a prize for MVP, a prize for the best shooter, and we are going to add a upcoming prize as well. That's for like a young person who has shown great performance throughout the competition, because last year I know as the netball president, Kyla Keith, she would have brought some young teams, you know, and you know, we have to motivate and encourage them.
Understood.
So, yeah.
And how important is it for the young persons in Tobago West to become engaged in the activities, be a part of it? Or is it open for everyone in Tobago to be a part of it, and it's just that it's being hosted in the West?
Well, it's an event that has always attracted persons from Charlottesville to Crown Point.
Right.
And it's intended to the same thing, it's just that it's hosted by the Member of Parliament for Tobago West.
Right.
But it's a Tobago thing. Persons, we have cricket teams come out from Roxborough and environs. We have persons come from far as Charlottesville to partake. So it's a Tobago thing. It's just hosted in the West, but it's for the entire Tobago.
Right, I love that. But there are other activities that will be taking place throughout the year from your committee. Tell us a bit about that. I see that there's cricket, there's football, the beach football that you spoke about that's happening in Corland. Tell us about some of the other activities that we can look forward to.
So we have a list of activities, a number of activities, and they're going to be held in various communities. So we have the All Fours, which is a big thing. It's a growing thing worldwide now.
Right.
So we're going to have an All Fours competition that will be hosted in one of the districts. Then we have the beach football, which will be hosted a bit later on in the year, probably around July, August, at the Corland facility. There's the Nazi Fast 5 football, the aspect to this netball as well, that will be hosted in 2 weeks after the netball. That will be hosted at the Corland ground, which will now change to a 7-a-side competition with more attractive prizes, more money. So, persons, we engage them. We try to encourage them to come out. You have a day or two of activities to do
This
something.
is at the Corland field. Okay,
Yeah.
and not the...
Well, the facility is for the beach football, which will be forthcoming as well.
Right.
Also, I'm engaging the masters as well, because, seniors, most times they say we only have things for young people. So we have a masters cricket plan, we have a masters football plan. But the good thing with the masters cricket, one of the members on the body, the committee, would have reached out to me via letter because they have a masters cricket coming up in a couple months. So what I'm going to do to make life easy for me and the team, we're going to partner with them.
Right.
So that would be easier for us because they already have the framework and everything. So it's not like we'll have to fully plan out the masters cricket. So we're going to partner with them on that event. So it will be a bigger event. If it was large last year, it's going to be larger this year because I know there are teams that come across from Trinidad, teams from up the island. So that's going to be something big in the Tobago space. And then we are going to host a masters football as well. Also, we have some fringe events in between. So normally, Bonaparte Crown Point, I would have hosted a couple Mother's Day events, a couple Father's Day events in the past. So now we are looking at hosting a Mother's Day and a Father's Day events for the mothers and fathers in Tobago West. This one will be strictly for Tobago West.
Right.
All right. All the other events is open to the entire island of Tobago. I also keep something you call open arms. So we provide food, soft clothing. We may have some vouchers, back to school vouchers for school children, the less fortunate and needy. So we know the office, we are trying to continue what we have been doing before, but it's just on a larger scale this time to meet the needs and treat with the situation of Tobago West and the entire island.
And within your constituency, there's Mount Pleasant and there's Buku, and we know that there are the Easter celebrations that will be happening very soon on Easter weekend, Easter Monday, Easter Tuesday. How does that tie into some of the activities that you will be doing or supporting?
So, well, for those events, I would be rendering some support to those events.
Right.
So I would have met with the Buku council. So I already pledged a support to that, and then they sent me a letter from the Mount Pleasant community as well, and I would pledge some support to that. It's all about engaging the different communities, the various areas, to ensure that they get the support that they need.
Excellent. And we want to thank you for ensuring that you continue to engage the community, particularly as it pertains to sport and getting persons involved, continuing to foster that competitive spirit. You were the person in charge of sport previously on the island as the secretary in that division. How is it for you being able to work in collaboration with the current Secretary for Youth Empowerment and Sport to ensure that some of the work that you started in your time continues to go on?
Well, that has been easy. The transition has been a simple one. Before, there was an Assemblyman Clark was the secretary there, and we would have collaborated, all the things that I would have rolled out, all the things I would have planned. He continued with those things, and the new secretary has continued on that because it's about Tobago first. It's about ensuring that all young people get that support that they need to push. I listened to the interview earlier where you mentioned with the Carifa and our athletes would be supported. When we were there, we tried our best to support Assembly Member Clark and myself, and I know that support will continue. There are some things in the pipeline that will give our athletes some comfort shortly. I wouldn't say anything out in the public about it, but I'm working behind the scenes to ensure that we get some of these facilities sorted out. We get some support from the national body to ensure that our athletes get the right facilities to train so that they can even produce better. Because look at, for instance, they are training at Shaw Park, and look at the times they are producing, look at the standards. So that just goes to show that if our athletes get a better venue, a better facility, more support, more resources, they can even do greater things.
I totally agree with that. And even as we wrap up our discussion this morning, is there anything that you want to say to Tobagonians looking on as it pertains to just engaging with some of the activities that you would be putting on for the year?
Well, Tobagonians, you have a lot to look out to, you have a lot to look forward to. I have always pledged my support to Tobago. I have always done what I had to do, what I have been selected to do, and I'm here to serve each and every Tobagonian. My offices are open Monday to Friday, 8 to 4. I have an office at Unit 11, Milford Bay Plaza. I also have an office on Shelbourne Street and Rabbit Lane Corner in Plymouth. So you can come to the office, you can come to get the support. It's not just about the sporting events, it's not just about other things, but it's about the social aspect, the social fabric. It's about that support for students, it's that support for the needy and the less fortunate. So I'm there for each and every Tobagonian, and that is what I was selected to do, and I will continue to do that to the best of my ability.
Excellent. Well, again, we want to thank you so much for being here this morning, and we want to remind Tobagonians that the Fast 5 Netball Tournament is taking place this Saturday at the Montgomery Hard Courts. Remind us about the times that the event is starting.
So the event kicks off at 6 p.m. We're hoping to start at 6 p.m., but there would be teams that would come to register around that time. So, we'll give a grace period and we'll get the action jump started.
Right. And you did tell our audience that if persons are interested in coming and vending at the event, that will be free of charge. Persons can just come, obviously with their food badge, food badges, but come set up and help generate some economic activity within the area. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break right here, and we'll be back after this with much more conversations. See you soon.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning as the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies.
We get ready as the Conby Mount Pleasant Community Council brings to you the Easter Sport and Family Day. On Monday, 6th April, Easter Monday, we transform the Mount Pleasant recreational grounds. We kick off with track and field events, novelty races, Easter bonnet competition, the Greasy Pole Challenge, and the highly anticipated William Woods Premier Goat Racing Classic. Huge prizes to be won, and we can't forget the Kids Corner with rides and bouncy castles. At 7 p.m., it's an after party and a stage show by popular artists and DJs. Grounds tickets cost $60 for adults and $30 for kids 5 to 12 years. Pavilion tickets cost $100 and children under 5 years are free. So register early for races. Check out Conby Mount Pleasant Community Council on Facebook. 474-4661. 474-4661 for more details. Live performance by the 2026 National Calypso Monarch Queen, Terry Lyons.
I need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing.
What's up, it's your brother Nathaniel here. Listen, this Easter weekend 2026. Arise, the concert, Scarborough Amphitheater will never be the same. I'm looking forward to fellowshipping with you guys in praise and worship. And I know a couple of my brothers will be there as well. Big up, blessed, Bijon, Fire Night. Arise, we going down in the war room. We going down in the war room.
Arise!
In a world where our health defines our future and the Caribbean stands on the front lines of climate change, rising NCDs and global challenges, knowledge becomes our greatest defense. Caribbean Medical TV is your guide on the journey to wellness and insight, featuring our region's own doctors, nurses, climate specialists and medical institutions. From physical well-being to the emotional and mental balance we all deserve. Caribbean Medical TV empowers you because building a healthier future isn't just a regional goal, it's a global responsibility. In the Caribbean, vitality isn't just a goal, it's a way of living. Connect with the region through knowledge, hope, and the power of Caribbean resilience on Caribbean Medical TV, where awareness becomes power. Join the conversation, join the movement. Be viewing Season 4 of Caribbean Medical TV right here on this station.
Tobago, it's Carnival. The vibe, the event space, formerly known as Shade, for the court Tobago, says, let's celebrate Carnival. Bring your coolers every Friday and Saturday, starting from Friday the 30th of January till Carnival week, and pay $50 at the door with your cooler all night. No ice, no chaser allowed. Top DJ and artists passing through every Friday and Saturday. To pre-book your cabanas, call 369-6414 and 394-3612 or email iwamg@gmail.com. And this promotion is going on until Easter. Gates open at 9 p.m. It's rum, it's bacchanal. Bring your coolers and come.
Been down this road before. All that left is rum and bacchanal. This is Carnival.
The Caribbean is more than just a place. It's a spirit, resilient, vibrant, and full of possibility. It's who we are and the heart of everything we do. For over 150 years, we've been right here, invested in the Caribbean, its people, and its progress. And today, we're going even further. We're deepening our commitment to the region, continuing to invest in the networks, services, and digital solutions that move Caribbean businesses forward. Whether you are a mid-sized business or multinational player, we bring you resilient connectivity, personalized service, and tailored IT solutions, all powered by local teams that truly have your back. We're here to help you navigate challenges, grow, and achieve your goals with practical solutions, reliable networks, and a partnership rooted in trust and your long-term success. Liberty Business, rooted in the Caribbean, committed to you.
Are you in a dispute with a registered investment service provider of the TTSEC? Or maybe you're the victim of an investment scam? You can lodge a complaint or submit an anonymous tip to the Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission. Download our Investor Protection app or go to ttsec.org.tt to access our complaint form or submit an anonymous tip. Write a clear summary of your complaint. Submit copies of supporting documents along with the originals for verification. Provide a copy of the feedback received from the entity regarding your complaint. All investor complaints or scam reports submitted by the public are acknowledged and reviewed by the TTSEC. Investigations are pursued based on the outcome of the review. Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission, protecting the interests of investors and the public. You invest, we protect. Everyone benefits.
Welcome to Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, where innovation meets excellence and service reigns supreme. Our commitment is simple: to provide high-quality, innovative aluminum, vinyl, and glass solutions for both commercial and residential spaces. At TGSL, we don't just meet needs, we exceed expectations. Our range includes the finest aluminum cladding options, setting new standards in durability and style. Driven by our passion to elevate, we aim to be the leading supplier in the Caribbean market while retaining our identity as a family-owned business. Because at Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, it's not just about products. It's about relationships, it's about you. Innovation, quality, service. That's Tobago Glass Supplies Limited.
It's a brand new morning.
good morning, and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. Ladies and gentlemen, we continue our conversations this morning, and we're talking about the Spayside Sea Festival. To have that conversation with me this morning, I have the privilege of sitting in studio and chatting with the president of the Spayside Village Council, Pastor Rolex Johnson, as well as the vice president, Mr. Collis McPherson. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for having us.
All right, gentlemen, firstly, Pastor Rolex, can you tell us a bit about the festival? Is this the first time that the Sea Festival is happening? Tell us a bit about the theme surrounding this year's festival.
Okay, so good morning Tobago, and yes, it's the first time we'll be hosting the Spayside Sea Fest, which we hope to be an annual event, all right, happening this time. All right, so it'll be the first time we'll be having it.
All right, and I mean, off camera, you told me a bit about the lionfish being on display at this particular festival, but what's the theme for this year? What can persons look forward to?
Okay, so this year in particular, we focusing on the whole aspect of the lionfish. All right, we know what the lionfish does to the environment, and this year in particular, we'll be having the lionfish on display. We having persons actually having a demo of how to clean the lionfish. We also have meals prepared with the lionfish, and in addition, jewelry made out of the lionfish.
Understood. And Mr. McPherson, there are a number of different activities that will be taking place on the 20th of March for this particular Sea Festival celebration. There will be guided eco tours, there's a seafood market, there's a craft market. Tell us a bit about what persons can look forward to.
Pleasant good morning, Tobago. As Vice President, I just want to mention that the event, hopefully it starts at 9, where we're going to have like a registration for persons involved, in hiking. We are asking for appropriate footwear and clothing because we have at least 3 nature trails that we are working on that we will expect to do some hiking on that day. And this event basically would feature around the recreational ground, the beach facility, where we're going to have the food festival, where we have different food on display, mainly fish food on display, being prepared by local vendors from the community. We intend to have a football match likewise to have maximum participation in the community on that day. And the president will give some more details as to other activities that we intend to have there.
Right, and to you, as we look at that engagement and getting persons from the community to come out, although it's in Spayside, it's really targeted towards the entire island for everyone to come out. Tell us a bit about that.
Okay, so we have been reached out to a lot of youth groups, all right, and fitness clubs on the island, all right, and we want them to come in and experience Spayside. Most time persons will just come and in the village, but yeah, we have a lot of trails, and I tell you, really nice trails, enjoyable, and I think we could come out and just explore. One of the trails is about almost 3 to 4 hours of walking through the forest. Another one is about 2 hours, and we have an hour and a half. All right, so as Mr. McPherson mentioned, we want to start at 9 because by the time you come back, lunch will be ready.
Right.
All right, and persons could enjoy, all right, the meals that would be prepared by persons in the community. And perchance if you are outside the community and you want to come and be a vendor,
right.
All right, remember we just seafood, all right, so you want the shrimps, you want the, fish in different style.
Right.
So
the lobster,
that's what we're looking at.
all the exotic.
That's right. We have it there for you.
Seafood dishes. And so we look forward to that happening. And this is happening on the 30th of March. That's the holiday.
Correct.
Monday, the holiday. And persons are encouraged to come out in Spayside, have a good time. We know that a number of persons will be on the island for that long weekend. And this is your ability to just engage in all that Tobago has to offer. Tobago is not just Tobago West, but Tobago as a whole has a number of things that can offer. So take that opportunity to make the trek up to Spayside on the 30th of March to be a part of the celebration. And we know that there will be a number of vendors that will have a number of items on sale. Tell us a bit about that.
One, will be having the lionfish. As I mentioned, we have persons cleaning, actually show how to clean the lionfish. And there'll be samples, okay, so you could taste if you have never had an opportunity to enjoy the lionfish. You will have an opportunity, all right, and you also can purchase a meal, all right, made out of the lionfish. So I think that will be also a first, and it will also be a first to you, Miss Chanel.
Yes,
right, to come and enjoy the lionfish. And I tell you, Spayside, we are the best cooks,
right?
All right, so you can come and enjoy it in fish or seafood in all different style.
All right, Mr. McPherson, also tell us a bit about, you know, the partnerships for this event. I see that it is being done in collaboration with the Blue Tourism Initiative.
Correct. One of our main support is Canary. This is a group from Trinidad that basically support this type of initiative. I think recently they were involved in the regatta that took place at Richmond. So they are basically supporting the Spayside Village Council with this initiative. They are providing guided guidance on the initiative, and also we have tour guides being trained. So this is a part of the responsibility. Likewise, we have signs, so they are guiding us as to how we prepare these signs for installation at these local trails.
Right, and is it that you want persons to become more engaged in utilizing the trails even after the Sea Festival activities?
But that is one of the main benefits that would be derived from this initiative. It provides economical benefits for those persons that are receiving the training as tour guides. We already have some tour guides from within the community, Mr. Newton George, Wayne Gray. We have been receiving some support from Mr. Trim, you know, in the preparation of all these trails. We also have the Sidees Football Club, who is responsible for maintaining these trails. So they are partners in this program that we are offering.
Understood, and that's excellent, especially as it pertains to expanding Tobago's tourism product and what visitors can experience when they come to the island, particularly in Spayside, where there are two major hotels in that particular area. We have the Mantle Lodge Hotel as well as the Blue Waters Inn down there. And so a number of tourists are already in the area, and it's just a matter of expanding some of the services that persons can do to engage in what we call, you know, this beautiful island of Tobago. Even as we round off our discussion this morning, gentlemen, is there anything that you want to say individually to Tobagonians looking on as it pertains to supporting this 2026 Spayside Sea Festival?
Okay, well, for me, I want to encourage persons on the 30th, make it a plan or put it on your calendar. Get up early, get your boots or your sneakers in gear, and head up to Spayside. As we walk the trails, I'll tell you, you will for sure enjoy every minute of walking through the trails. All right, so pick one, maybe the 3.5 hours, which I will recommend for anybody. That's the enjoyable one, or you can take a small, shorter one, 2.5, however you think your fitness level is, and come out to Spayside, come and enjoy some good food.
Right.
All right. We also have a kids corner. All right. So we have bouncy castle and all that will go with it. So come and have a good day out the most beautiful community in Tobago.
Excellent. Well, we look forward to that excitement for the whole family. Mr. McPherson, is there anything that you want to say to our audience looking on this morning before
we also want to thank Tobago Dive Experience. They are the ones basically right now harvesting the lionfish that we're going to be having on display. So some of the menus that were prepared for display on this day, we have the Battle Bay stew, we have the Little Tobago grill plate, we have the Indian Bay coconut curry shrimp, we have the water wheel fisherman broth, and we have the Taka trail provision broth. Right. Last but not least, we have the Japanese garden fried platter. So these are some of the food that would be on display, and our vendors would be preparing for us.
Excellent. Well, it seems like a lot of excitement, especially for our seafood lovers on the island. And so if you are a seafood lover or you're just interested to really get into what this lionfish is about, then this is your opportunity to do so. And this is happening on the 30th of March. And it's happening at the Spayside community. And there are a number of activities that will be taking place. There's the cooking demonstration, there's the seafood market, there's the craft market, and again, there's the eco tours that will be taking place from 9 a.m. You come in, you register, and you go up with your entire team and have a great time discovering a new element of all that Tobago has to offer. Ladies and gentlemen, again, we want to thank you so much for being a part of this morning's discussions. We want to thank you for your likes, your shares, and your comments, and all that you have been doing and continue to do to make Tobago Updates the #1 broadcaster here on the island of Tobago. Again, I am Chanel Felix, and have a great day.
Tobago updates. Good morning, Tobago. Let's go. It's a brand new morning. Rise up to a brand new dawning as the passion start to rise.